Thank you very much. Any more questions? Still have a few minutes, I believe.
Good evening. You talked about 3 poisons: the greed, the ignorance, and anger. But I noticed a lot of people were asking about possessions. But where I work with people that want to expose or advocate for gays and lesbians. So what does your religion teach about that? Because a lot of people are ignorant concerning sexual orientation. What are your views?
佛教对同性恋呢也没有否定，也没有肯定，但是它属于一种贪心当中。佛教的经典里面有明显的记着，就是说有些人呢贪着那个他自己同类的这种年轻人，有些人呢也贪着那个比他年龄高的人，有些人就是贪着就是对他年龄小的人，有些是对他同龄，比如说年轻的人。所以这是佛教的一种观点。还有一种佛教的观点里面说，有些人就是他贪着那个同性的，就刚才是异性的，就是有些是贪着同性的，有些是甚至贪着那个动物类的，就是他们对那个动物类有产生贪心啊，就是这些。所以说佛教呢就是2500年前的时候呢，2560多年前的时候呢，读佛经里面一个很明确的就是这种记载，就是所以说一般就看到这个同性恋呢，就是这几年以来就是很多国家可能有些是非常排斥，就是甚至反死刑的历史上也有，有些呢就是特别就支持，好像现在呢有26个国家都就变成这个合法吧，就澳大利亚就是以前澳大利亚是非法的，邻居的新西兰呢是合法的，那现在呢就是他们也成了合法的。这样的话好像有那么多国家呢就是现在是逐渐这个合法，所以我们的人类当中呢就是有可能比较各种就比我们平时的传统和想象以外的很多事情发生，所以佛教呢在早已在这个经典里面是有明确的这种说法，所以我刚才讲的不排斥也不赞叹，就是跟其他的这个贪欲呢是应该是相等的。
Well, in Buddhism, we talk about the Buddhism attitude or perspective on homosexuality is neither to reject it nor to agree with it, and so it's not against of nor agreeing with it. But Buddhism has this view on greed or desire. People may have desire towards the younger one who are younger than them, and there are people who desire for the older ones, and there are people who desire for their peers, and there are people who desire for people of the same gender and the people of the different gender, and there are people who desire for animals. So there are many different types of desire, and in terms of that, it is stated in the sutra that's over 2,560 years ago, and it was stated very clearly in sutras, that is Buddhist texts. Many countries around the world nowadays are turning into the kind of countries that makes same-gender marriage lawful, and there are still lots of countries are against of it. Just as Australia, it used to be the country that was against of homosexual marriage, but last year it turned into they've actually changed their law and made the same gender marriage to be lawful, just as their neighbor New Zealand. So they're right now both of the countries that make this lawful. And now there are 26 countries around the world that has the lawful same gender marriage. People from different traditions and people. In fact, there are many people in this world that have very different traditions and have very different tendencies that we can never really imagine of. But those kind of tendencies were all written and described in Buddhist texts that's written over 2,600 years ago, 2,500 years ago. But in general, this kind of tendency is based on greed or desire, and that is the root of such. That is not to be promoted.
我再补充一下。
To add, to give you addition to the answers.
佛经里面就像有些人喜欢年轻人，有些人喜欢这个老年人的话呢，我就经常想起了中国前几年呢有一个杨振宁科学家，他当时82岁的时候娶了一个28岁的这种姑娘，就是现在好像他都已经90多岁了，不是90，对，28岁82岁，他现在就是好像90多岁有没有，就已经差不多了。这是一个，我就经常想，就是这个，因为有些人是比自己年轻，喜欢年轻的，有些人喜欢年老的人，包括那个美国这个川普总统的家庭和法国这个马克龙是吧？就是他的这个家庭的家人的这种年龄关系的话呢，就是有这个不同的差别。我个人而言，我93年去美国的时候呢，有一个男士，这个他说这是我的男朋友，就是带着一个他的男朋友了。当时我刚开始去西方，特别不接触，我就觉得太惊讶了。但是后来呢，因为接触的就比较多了，就是所以现在呢，就是他们不仅仅是所谓的男朋友，他的这种同性的家人带来的话呢，就是我们都非常就能接受，就是这个可能是一个观念的问题。
Well, in terms of the different tendencies of attraction that was described in Buddhist text, as I said earlier, some liked people who are younger than them and who are older than them. To give you an example, a Nobel laureate nominee from China, or he was his name is Yang Zhenying, and he, at the age of 82, he married to a young girl who was only 28 years old, and now he's over 90, and they've lived together after marriage. So that was that has been a hotline on the newspaper. And not even to mention about such big age gaps. Just look at the US President Donald Trump and his family members, as well as French President Macron and his wife has a rather big age difference with him. So there are people who are attracted to people who have a rather big age difference. And in terms of gender, I myself, back in 1993, when I visited United States, I met this young man who came with another young man to see me. And when he introduced the other young man, he said, "This is my boyfriend." And at that time, I really couldn't accept such kind of relations, and I was really surprised. But now, maybe because I've met so many people, and I really no longer mind about their introductions to their family members, let it be men or women. I have a rather more inclusiveness and acceptance in my mind. So therefore, I think it's really just a concept.